Hey, what's up, guys? So, the new talk lately is about these bonds. What is the big deal about the bonds? So, the bonds basically is how the government raises money to pay off their debt. Every year, the US government acquires or builds up $1 trillion of debt. They need to pay that off. Basically, they sell these bonds to people who want to buy the US debt. So with the bonds, it's a low risk way to invest your money to get a return in 5, 10, 20, 30 years, right? So the issue is nobody wants to buy the US debt and to make a 5% return. Like, inflation in 5, 10, 30 years is going to eat away that, and they're going to be actually losing money by buying the US debt. So that's why it's such a big deal. And when they raise the interest rate to pay back their loans to the US people or whoever is buying the US debt, when they have to raise that interest rate, that means that the government has to make more money to pay interest on their debt to their people that are buying it. So that's crazy, right? It doesn't even make any sense at all. So that's why investors are going into hard assets like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to give you a return that is going to exceed the inflation rate. So I hope that gives you a little bit of understanding of how the bonds work. The thing is we're so far in debt as a country, and to raise our interest rates even more for us to pay back more money doesn't make sense. Nobody wants to invest in these little small return payouts when they're going to lose money on their money in the long term. So what do? As a country, we want to buy Bitcoin now. And that's exactly what Trump is going to do in June. They said that they are raising a bill after this market strategy bill to buy Bitcoin now. So they did the stablecoin bill. They're doing another bill that's market structure bill, and then they got to do the reserve bill. So they're making steps in lightning speed, because we all know corporate and governments don't move fast, but they're moving as fast as possible to get this. Listen to these next clips from Crypto Jeb. Great guy who's studied Bitcoin since I think 2013 or maybe 2017, but he's going to give you an economics class in like 4 minutes. And then listen to Altcoin Daily, which they're doing an interview with a longtime wealth manager who is trying to, he's got a book out, he's done a ton of research, and he knows what he's talking about. So, all right, God bless, guys. Stay blessed. Peace.
Don't believe me? 4 years ago, it was 350 billion. It's tripled in 4 years. You think it won't quadruple again in 10 years? You're wrong. As that goes up, at some point in the future, probably about 15 to 20 years from now, you are going to see the amount of interest that the United States government is paying to bonds be larger than tax revenues. At that point in time, there are two options. One, hyperinflate the currency, completely eliminate entitlements entirely. You're talking about the destruction of Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, gone. Not cut, gone. Deleted. Out of the budget, period. To try and reverse the debt. Or you see the Federal Reserve start printing money into oblivion to make enough money to pay that. But that kicks the can down the road, and what ends up happening in that scenario is you have a default on U.S. equities. On U.S. bonds. That is why investors are demanding 5% on a 30-year bond, because they want to get their money out through the interest within 12 years, because in 25 years they expect the United States dollar to be insolvent or hyperinflated. This is the end of fiat currency as we know it, and there's one place to run, it's Bitcoin. Well, Jeb, what about real estate? Real estate's in a giant freaking bubble, man. If the United States government balanced the budget, then the bubble would just keep going forever. But as the dollar collapses, so will the real estate market. You're going to see housing prices drop 70% again at some point in the next 20 years. I don't know when, but it's going to happen again. Your house will go up in value and because of inflation, and then it's going to crash again. It's going to happen eventually. What about gold? What about gold? Gold's going to make a lot of money. Gold's going to $10,000 an ounce. A kilogram of gold's going to be worth $500,000. It's going to happen. And Bitcoin's going to $2 million because Bitcoin is going to outrun gold by 4x. It's already done it before. It's going to do it again. It's smaller, it's faster, it's more agile, it's got better time, it's better to transact with, it's more finite, it's more scarce. There are $300 trillion in bonds right now, and they all are scared. All of them. Bitcoin's worth $2 trillion. The bond market is 150 times the size of Bitcoin. And the bond market is going to double in the next 15 years because of inflation. That money's got to go somewhere because it no longer trusts that bonds are the safe haven that they used to be. That chart where the bond rate is going down and then it bounced signals the death of the government bond being the safe haven for cash. It's over. The beginning of the end has come. It started during COVID. We now have 4 years of data to basically prove it. It's on its way. The death knell is here. Please share this video with everyone that you can. This little tariff, little drop, seems like it's bad for Bitcoin. It might cause a drop down to 100, whatever. I don't care. We're looking at macro here. I buy Bitcoin. I don't touch it for 15 years. We have a policy. We don't sell Bitcoin until 2040 because by 2040, we'll be on a Bitcoin standard. The future is here. The bond market is dying. There's nothing Trump can do about it. He keeps trying to do something about it, and it's not working. Share this video with everyone that you possibly can to orange pill them because in the future, there's going to be two classes of people, financially speaking. Bitcoiners and no coiners.
Will happen is, the stock market or the bond market, one or the other, or perhaps even both, will quote unquote break.
Today I interview famed investor and author of The Big Print, Larry Lepard.
One of the things I love about it, I made my career as a professional investor trying to find companies and bet on companies.
About the real reason Bitcoin is going much higher in 2025.
So I could see us, ripping into a $1,000 Bitcoin price at the end of this year.
Watch today's whole video. What are common mistakes you see younger investors making today? As Larry shares investing alpha that could literally change your life.
And that's why those of us who really understand it deeply, just are pounding the table that you've got to buy some of this because it's going to be so much higher.
And there's probably no better person to ask than you on this, but why is Bitcoin going up now?
Well, a lot of reasons. The biggest picture, I think, is just continual monetary debasement. That's kind of, the book describes this as kind of just baked in the cake. This is Lynn's model, and it's been my model as well, that when you're expanding debt and you're expanding the monetary base more quickly than you're expanding GDP, that's an inflationary thing. And, Bitcoin is fixed algorithmically to 21 million coins, so it will not expand as as all these other monetary base expand. So in dollar terms, Bitcoin, I'm with Saylor, Bitcoin is going much, much higher. It's going to multiple millions of dollars per coin over, the next 10 to 15 years. So I'd say but to point to the biggest cause is because the fiat system and the Keynesian model really just kind of requires continued inflation. And there was a time when that was, calmer and people weren't paying attention to it, like the 80s. After we had the gold rush in the 70s, and then Volcker got things under control, and most people weren't paying attention to sound money during the 80s, but it's gotten steadily worse, this issue of government spending and debt. And I think now we're kind of at the point where the pot is really on the boil. It's happening very quickly now, and as we all know, we hit a record high price today at 109, and I see us going to 140 or 150 this year pretty easily. And potentially higher, but I'm very comfortable predicting that.
And show the book, if you would. I have mine
Oh,
ordered.
sure, yeah, happy to.
Link down below.
What's that? Yeah, the book is available on Amazon. It's hardcover, paperback, EPUB, Kindle, and audiobook. So, anyone wants to pick it up there, you can. I'm also going to be at Las Vegas and at Prague, and have tables to do book signings at both those. You can purchase it there, but sadly, I didn't get thousands of books. I got hundreds of books. So once I'm out, I'm out.
I'm final thoughts for the Altcoin Daily Army.
Well, I would just say, don't sell your Bitcoin and get off. If you don't have any Bitcoin, get off of zero. To me, this is an opportunity that your grandkids will, remember, and don't mess it up. I mean, it's really it's a very unique and rare time that we live in. You're not too late. 109 is not too much to pay. When the coins are 1 million or 5 million, you'll feel like you were a genius that you bought it at 100. So, uh, you know, get your coins, buy whatever you can afford to buy.